Jamie, already you have passed more than 2 years as a national team head coach of Bangladesh. So what's your actually evaluation for after 2 years?
Yeah, I'm very pleased of the progress we've made over the 2 years from when we first started to now. I think there's been huge development and progress within the players. I think that we've become a much better team from when I took over to now. I think for us to improve going forward, obviously we need to try and win or get to a final of a competition. I think that's got to be our aim as national team coach, to try and do that this year. So that's the target that we'll try and set the players, and we'll set ourselves. Hopefully we can get to a final. That'll be fantastic.
Coach, you came from a country where football is much superior than the game of cricket,
Yeah.
but you came to a country where cricket is much superior than football.
Yeah.
How did you react first time when you saw that?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, we're in UK, football is the main sport, and everyone that sort of follows. Cricket is close behind it, but obviously in Bangladesh that has changed around a little bit. I do feel that in football there is a massive following, and there's a lot of people that really love football over here. I think where there's a lot of investment in cricket, and the structure is greater than in football. I think obviously people like to support and be part of things that are successful. Bangladesh cricket team has been successful over the years of how they've developed as a national team. So hopefully, we'll try and follow that. So for me, I don't mind being second behind cricket. I understand that, but the aim for us is to try and one day match that if we can, or overtake cricket. I know it's going to be extremely tough to do that, but I think it gives us a challenge as well to try and compete with cricket.
May 2018 to it's February 2021.
Yep.
Quite a time you have. If memory doesn't deceive me, then the first training session of you was happened in BKSP.
Yes.
Since then, how much improvement in terms of tacticality, in terms of technicality, and in terms of fitness? How much improvement you saw in your players?
Yeah, I think if being really honest, when we first went to BKSB, it was a really big surprise in the shape of the players technically and physically. It was a long way behind where we're used to in England. But full credit to the players. I think that they've shown over the last 2 years that they've changed their mentality, they've changed their diet. I think if you look at most of the footballers, and I would say the national team are ahead of the league players, is that fitness-wise and body fat and how their actual body is now, is they're in good shape. And they deserve a lot of credit for that, because we went to South Korea for a good period of time, and we trained them really hard in that time, and we gave them templates and examples of how they should live and how they should train. And credit to the players, they've stuck to that. And over the last 2 years, they've really come on physically and mentally. So I think that's very pleasing. I know that people look at results and everything's based on results, but for us as well, I think the change from when we first had the players to now is massive, and there's a massive development in that as well. So for us, we're proud of that. I think we've got the players, and they've got themselves in a lot better shape than what we had them in 2 years ago. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Obviously now we need to continue that. We need to improve facilities, and we need to invest money into that to go to the next stage and the next level.
If you see that your two lives, life in Britain, life in Bangladesh,
Yes.
You're a celebrity here.
Yeah.
Somebody just stopped by you and asked for a selfie. How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's very different. Obviously, like say in UK, where the football is so popular and there's so many leagues, you don't get recognised in the UK as much, as over here. And like you say in Bangladesh, there is a lot of photos and people recognise you, which is great. Everyone is very considerate and kind as well, so that helps. And for me, it's something I enjoy doing. There's lots of ups and downs. It's better when you're winning.
Yes.
But yeah, for me, it's completely different. I go back to UK, no one knows who I am. I go back to family life, and that's great as well. So yeah, it's a nice balance that I have at the minute.
If you see the Bangladesh League and other tournaments surrounding that, you can notice that some of your key players, some of your important, what could be your super sub, are wasting their times on bench and sometimes not even in the squad, match day squad. So is it harming Bangladesh football in a bigger picture?
Well, I think from a national team point of view, you know, we can only really pick players that are playing regular football. You know, it's going to be very tough for me for the next camp to pick players that have been sub or not in the squad. That could have an effect on the national team because we could have better players that are not playing, but we have to pick players that are playing because they're fit and they've been playing regular. So yeah, it could pose a problem. I can't tell the players what to do. You know, they have to make their own decision. Players have, you know, commitments with their families and salaries as well. So, you know, I can only guide and give support if they ask me. But I think going forward, what we'll have a clear plan on is that we'll only pick players that have played enough football to warrant being in the squad.
Recently you are traveling more to get familiar to other stadiums. You have been to Tongi Stadium. You have been. What's your opinion on that sort of stadiums?
Yeah, I think for me it's good to get outside of Dhaka and to see other stadiums and meet other people in different districts and different areas. I don't think that we should just focus on football in Dhaka. You know, we want the whole of Bangladesh to be part of the national team and support the national team, you know, in games. So yeah, I've been to 3 or 4 stadiums this year, different ones. I think Camilla for me has the best atmosphere. I really enjoyed the stadium there. The games there have been really good. There's been lots of spectators, and I think that, you know, going forward, that national teams should play in different stadiums around Bangladesh so that everyone can get to see the national team play. That would be, you know, something that I would want to happen. You know, whether it's Sylhet, Camilla, Chittagong, somewhere else, is that we want everyone to be part of the national team and feel a family that wants to support the national team to do well. So, you know, moving outside of Dhaka will help that.